Disclaimer, fading the books is not responsible for any losses. These are our opinions. Said it's about that time. Coach put me in the game so I can push that line. Fade in the books, yeah, it's time to talk parlay. This is the reason you need to watch today. It's almost game day, so let's get paid. We fade in the books, now go ahead and turn the page.
Welcome, sports betting world, to Fade in the Books. And we got some Sunday playoff football. So you know what that means? Yep, we got some picks. But first, some channel business. Added a few more subscribers this week. Really appreciate that. Salute. If this channel has reached your algorithm, please take a moment and subscribe, like, and comment on the video. That really helps push the channel to more screens. Now, let's get to this money. First pick, first best bet. I'm taking the under 40.5 total points for this Texans Patriots game. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm going to let my nephew comment on it here in a little bit. But I'll just say that these two are two of the best defenses last season. Let's say this season. And coming into this playoffs. You know, the Texans, man, they've been struggling on the offensive side. Now they're really going to struggle now with no Nico Collins. The defense had to put up, 2 scores against the Steelers. Granted, the Steelers really couldn't do nothing out there, but they're going to need to, they're going to really have to lean on the defense, keep this game close, low scoring, because their offense, I don't see them really putting up any kind of points this game.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. The defensive matchups on there. We have the number 4 total defense given up, uh, and I think it was the Houston Texans, and number 7 in Patriots. Um, I think Drake May takes care of the ball pretty well this year. Honestly, um, I don't see him doing what Aaron Rodgers did and panicking back there, not having the time, and just throwing it away. He's gonna take care of the ball. And then they got Mike Vrabel over there. Mike Vrabel always, when it gets hot, he always goes to the run. He says go to the run, and that's how he's been winning with Tennessee Titans in the past. And I think he's gonna try to use that same formula there. Without Nico Collins, it's gonna be huge because that's their big downfield. They already was missing Tank Dell for the season. With no Nico Collins, this is gonna be huge for like Dalton Schultz and stuff like that, getting those pop passes. And CJ Stroud might have to use his legs a little bit. So that under 40.5 looks good. I like that.
All righty. Let's go to the second best bet here. And we're taking Ramondre Stevenson. And I'm taking him for over 20.5 receiving yards. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he's over in the 5 of the 5 last games at home. The Texans, they ranked 19th in receiving yards to the position this season. And in those 5 games, he's had an average of 3.4 targets with an average of 3 receptions, which is an 88% clip. So, 88%, I like that, for him as far as his receptions, or let's say targets to receptions ratio. So that's why I went with that pick.
Yeah. He didn't hit this every single game in the last 5 games. And those last 5 games for for the Patriots were like they weren't like must wins because they was already there winning, but they was like one of those they would keep winning, stay afloat. Houston Texans have one of the best run defenses in the league. And Ramon Stevens, if you get Ramondre Stevens, if you get him out there in the field, I like this for the 20 receiving yards.
Yep. Now we're going to jump over to my squad. I knew it was coming.
Who was that, the
If you
Indianapolis
knew,
Colts?
oh, hell no. If they're new to this channel, you see I'm wearing the Hester jersey, Bears hat. I'm a Bears fan. So with the third pick, taking DeAndre Swift. And I'm taking him at a alternate over 49.5 rushing yards. Let's take him at 50 yards, basically. He's covered this line 4 of the last 5 games. The only one he went under was that meaningless game against the Lions. The Rams, they ended the season ranked 11th in rushing yards to the position. But Swift, I should say, in their previous meeting early in the season, he ran for 93 yards on 16 carries. And he averaged almost 6 yards a carry. So this Bears again, this offensive line, they really came together through the season. 50 yards against this Rams defense. They're expecting some snow,
Mm.
so I think that works in favor of the Bears, in their run game. That's kind of why I took this line with Swift, and I think it's a pretty safe play for 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, for 50 yards rushing. This one's interesting to me because of the simple fact that the Bears do have two running backs there, and this isn't going to be one of them games where you're going to run all over the Rams. The Rams' interior defensive line is underrated, if I could say anything, because they have really revamped that defensive line, especially since Aaron Donald retired. They didn't just put it on one man; they put it on all four guys down low, and they really get after the quarterback. Now, with that being said, they do give up a couple big plays to some running backs there. And this with this pick here is is Swift getting more of the carries than Monungai?
Yeah, these past few games he has. Um, we have to look at now if Swift was a north south runner, then you know that's Kyle Monangai. So I can
Hmm.
kind of see where that Rams interior. But when you watch Swift play, they run a lot of what they call, they're not actually counters per se, but the line swifts one way and he goes the other way. So they go left, he'll go right, kind of like a what you call that, Brandon, with the when the offensive
Misdirection.
line. Yeah, it's a misdirection play as far as I guess you can say it, but it's not like he's running like taking a step that way per se. It's like he's getting it and going to the right, and the line is going to the left. So I guess it is a misdirection, but that's more Swift. If he can get outside of the box per se, that's where he's gonna pick up a lot of those yards.
Yeah, and
And
a few
like I
games I
said,
have been watching the Bears, they have really been depending on the opposite defense, not staying committed to that side. So once you
mm-hmm,
lose your gap integrity, you have Caleb Williams rolling out, or you had the running back rolling to the opposite side, or anything like that. That's what I've been seeing from the Bears, and it's actually been very successful because Caleb Williams has been doing. He's actually been very good with what they call off script plays.
yeah,
So Caleb Williams been really good with off script plays, and that goes down to the running back as well. Because if you're not staying home on the defensive end or your outside linebackers, Swift could take that to the outside there. So, and you can have him at 50 yards. I think that if it is going to be a heavy snow or a cold day, running the ball is going to be very key for this game here.
yep. All right, last pick. I'm going with the Iceman, Mr. Caleb
Oh,
Williams.
I thought
And
you
I'm
were doing Matt
taking him
Stafford.
over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's covered this line in 5 of the last 5 games. Rams is ranked 14th in passing touchdowns. Again, Caleb isn't bothered by the Rams numbers. I said, Ben Johnson has him playing at an MVP type level, something he didn't have last season. Colston Loveland has become one of his favorite targets. He should have Rome again in this game. I'm hoping he plays. And he has a lot of other weapons around him where Ben Johnson is giving him a lot more options to throw to. Just because of his play calling. That's that offensive mind, of Ben Johnson. So we're getting plus money on this play. So with this one, I feel like that we're robbing the books, which is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Rome is gonna be the key to this one. Because he is questionable, I think, with that foot
Foot.
injury. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to say it was the same foot he's been dealing with over the last few weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be key here for this one. But you do bring up a really good point with the tight end over there. He has been showing up to show out. He had a very slow start to the season, but towards the end of the season, Colston Loveland has really been taken off there. He don't have a really great matchup, but Caleb Williams, he's one of those type of quarterbacks that if he like you, he loves you, and he
Mm-hmm.
will throw the ball to you. And Colston Loveland's actually been showing out with this one. So
Yeah.
I kind of like the 2 touchdowns. Although the the 2 trend touchdowns that they had was against Green Bay twice, the Cleveland Browns, and the Detroit Lions. All of them were on a downward trend. versus the Rams, who's on the upward trend there.
Yeah, did he have? No, I think he had one touchdown against him in that game. But it was like one of the first or second games in the season. So we're
Yeah,
talking
I
like
mean, you got to play
early.
who's in front of you, which I get it.
Yeah.
In Green's Bay defense, I knew that they was going to be in trouble going into the game last week, and it actually reared its head in the second half um,
Hmm.
against the Bears and Caleb Williams. In the second half, Caleb Williams been doing what he's been doing
Yeah.
and throwing the ball. So
Throwing the ball.
kudos to him. I like it. This will be a really good game. This is a night game, right?
Yep. Yep. It's
This
a
night
night
game.
game.
This will be a really good game to watch. The Rams and the Bears. Go Rams on this one.
Boy, that hate is still there. It's still there. We're gonna make you a believer though. We're gonna when we holding up that Super Bowl trophy, maybe you'll
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. What I'm gonna say. Can you do it again? Can you do it
Hey, we
again?
ain't done it since '85. So hey, but you know what I say, once you're a champion, you're always gonna be a champion. So,
Yeah,
that's something they can never take away from you.
and I will tell you though, if they do happen to go to the Super Bowl, it will be on the arm and legs of Caleb Williams because the defense
Hmm.
they so hit and miss with this one. It's just like they will be on Caleb Williams' legs. So if you banking on Caleb Williams, like you are because the numbers say so, the 1.5 touchdowns would be the way to go.
Yeah. This is one of the this is a heavily favored play in the public, I do believe. I'm gonna have to look at it again, but there's a lot of people with this just because of his heroics the last, few games, playing from behind, having to throw the ball. So yeah.
Yeah,
Quick
and
recap. Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Just give me a quick recap of the picks. Taking the under 40.5 total points for the Texans Patriots game. We got Ramondre Stevenson, guess that's how you say his name, over 20.5 receiving yards. DeAndre Swift over 49.5 rushing yards. Caleb Williams over 1.5 passing touchdowns. All righty, nephew. Go ahead here. What would you have to say?
I will tell you though, make sure that you're putting these boosts on here and get maximizing your money. Just switch
Mm-hmm.
through. I think FanDuel has a really good one out there for it, and the score has a good one out there. So
Yep.
maximize your money when you're putting these out there, so we can all win this.
Yep. All right. With that being said, if you haven't checked it out yet, there is a video out there for the Saturday games. So make sure you go out there, check that video out. Again, comment. If it's your first time checking out the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Help the channel reach some more screens out there. And again, we will see y'all the next video. Peace.